Hey guys! So recently I have been getting a lot of requests for homemade creme brulee, and I think that is an excellent idea because creme brulee is one of the most delicious desserts, and it's actually pretty easy to make as well. But the thing with creme brulee that people can get intimidated by is that kitchen torch. So a lot of recipes at the end will call for using one of those little handheld kitchen torches. Now even myself, who loves a kitchen gadget more than anybody, is intimidated by those things. I'm always afraid I'm going to burn my house down with them. So after experimenting with a couple of different techniques, I have come up with the perfect way to make a homemade creme brulee without the need for one of those intimidating kitchen torches. Here's what you do. In a saucepan, you're going to combine some heavy cream and the seeds of one vanilla bean. Now I also like to throw in the pod as well, just because as that cream comes up to a simmer, you want to infuse it with all of those beautiful vanilla flavors, and there's even more flavor in the pod as well, so you might as well throw that in. Now meanwhile, in a heat-safe bowl, you're going to combine 6 egg yolks, a little bit of sugar, and a pinch of salt. I always like to add a little bit of salt into the desserts I make. Salt is just a natural flavor enhancer, so any flavors that you have, like the vanilla bean and the sugar, are just going to become all the more amplified by the help of a little bit of salt. At this point, your cream is probably done. You're going to go in and just fish out the pod, and then slowly pour the cream into the egg mixture, whisking all the while. You just want to do it slowly, a little bit at a time, so that you don't scramble those eggs. Because remember, the cream is hot and your eggs are room temperature. The slower you go, the better. Now here is a really important tip with creme brulee. You want to make sure that that custard is as smooth and creamy as possible. And the best way to assure that is to strain your mixture. So over another large heat-safe bowl, you're going to put a fine mesh sieve. You're then going to pour your egg mixture over the sieve. And then you will see, after you do that, you'll be surprised what you catch in that sieve. You'll have large pieces of vanilla bean, you may have a few little scrambled egg pieces here and there, so it's definitely a good step to do. Now let's talk ramekins. This is really tip number 2. I love to have a ramekin with a low profile, especially when you're trying to make homemade creme brulee without the need for a kitchen torch. And the reason is twofold. 1, a low profile ramekin is going to allow for your custard to get closer to your oven's heating implement. The closer it can get, the more caramelization you're going to get on your creme brulee. The second reason why I like this ramekin is that it has a wider diameter, about 5 inches to it. I don't know about you, but for me, the best part of the creme brulee is that caramelized sugar on top. So the wider the ramekin, the more surface crust you're going to get on your creme brulee. So if you'd like to know where to find ramekins that are similar to mine, I've put a link in the description to where you can find low-profile ramekins online. You're going to ladle out your egg mixture into your ramekins and transfer them to a large roasting pan. At that point, you want to walk over to your oven, open the oven door, and pull out the rack. You then want to take your roasting pan, place it on the rack, and then you want to fill about 1/2 inch up the side of the ramekin with hot boiling water. And the best way to do that is in the corner of your roasting pan. If you do it too close to the ramekins, some of that hot water can splash into your custard and then it will not set and it makes a big mess. So trust me, I've done this before and the best way to do it is just in the corner of your roasting pan. Then slowly push your rack into your oven. Then you want to bake for about 25 to 30 minutes, just until those custards are set. They'll still be a little bit jiggly and the tops will start to dry out. That's when you know they're done. And at this point, you want to refrigerate the custards. Allow them to cool and then wrap each one individually in foil. Place it in your refrigerator for about an hour or 2, or even overnight. Then when it's ready to serve, here comes the fun part, the sugar. Now I have done this experimentation 3 times with 3 different types of sugar. And here are the results. I've tried white granulated sugar. That does not work as well because it doesn't caramelize. It's too refined. There isn't enough natural sugars in that sugar for it to actually do much. So I wouldn't use the white sugar. The turbinado or raw cane sugar is better, but again, it's too coarse and it doesn't really melt all the way. You'll get some nice caramelization, but it won't be as good. And number 3, the real winner, is brown sugar. Brown sugar heats up really quickly, it caramelizes beautifully, and works in about 10 seconds. The best thing you want to do is just keep those creme brulees under your heating implement for the shortest amount of time possible because you don't want to heat up that custard too much. Otherwise, you miss that warm, crackly sugar in that cool center. So definitely go with the brown sugar. Now the final step to really send this creme brulee over the edge is to serve it with a dollop of homemade whipped cream. Now you guys have probably seen me make homemade whipped cream more times than you care to remember, so I'll spare you the demo. However, the recipe is in the description for those of you who'd like to know how to make it. So there you have it, homemade creme brulee without the use of those intimidating kitchen torches. I hope you guys give this one a try. Your guests will be blown away at your next party if you present them with homemade creme brulee. I'll see you next week for another real-time recipe where we're gonna put dinner on the table in 15 minutes or less. I'll see you then.